Real life military. Today we're going to go over investing, where you can put your money, and my suggestions. Investing is essentially putting your money into a financial asset and expecting returns over time. I don't believe that saving works for most people. I don't really think you start saving money or investing until you actually take the plunge and get into something that it's hard to take your money out of. Like, it's not a day to day thing that you can swing your money from, um, like your bank accounts, like put into one fund to the other. So many people will have a certain amount of money they're saving for a big purchase or a little reward that they want to get, or like a new car or something like that. But a lot of people change their mind and make those impulsive buys, and then all of that savings is gone. So, first thing you want to do is you want to understand your goals before investing. Understand what you are trying to achieve with the money that you're investing. So, say if you make $100,000 after 5 or 10 years, what is that money for, right? So, there are things that you should invest in, like your retirement and owning a house, and then there's simply growing your wealth. So, understand what you want to hit first. In retirement is something that you are putting in no matter what. It's the easiest one. For military members, we mess it up the most because we just go with what we were given. So before 2016, you were automatically put into the G fund. There are hundreds of people that I've met that have left it in the G fund until someone's like, "Hey," and they tell them about this, and they're like, "Oh crap." And then even people now after 2016, they're in the L fund, and once you talk about it and explain to someone, they're like, "Oh, wait a second, maybe that's not the right thing either." So make sure you get that in order. But real estate's another one that's really hard for people because it's a huge plunge, because they see that 300, that 600, that $800,000 loan that they have to take, that mortgage, and it scares them. And it is pretty scary. Like when I bought mine, it was pretty scary. But it's the biggest wealth generator in the military. Almost all of the multimillionaires that I know, well, millionaires and multimillionaires I know that are in the military, it is all from real estate. So it's not a coincidence. So for ultimate goals, that is a pretty big one. But if you are unsure of what goal you want, it's better to jump into investing to start learning and get your experience, because all of this comes from experience, and you're going to make mistakes. Even if you were told from Warren Buffett himself, like, you should do this, you're going to do your own thing. And you should. Like, you have to do it yourself. It's not something that you can be taught. Well, you can be taught, but you can't follow somebody else's plans, because you're not going to stick to it. You don't stick to a diet. You don't stick to working out all the time. Like, you veer off the path. It happens. So you must educate yourself. Learn everything you can about investing. Start with the basics. Learn every different asset class you possibly can. If it's stocks, if it's bonds, if it's real estate, commodities, which ones are more risky, which ones are safe, which ones do you have to hold for a long time, which ones can you get out of the fastest, what is crypto, like, and all these different things. So you need to learn at least what stocks are. Bonds, real estate, and high interest savings are pretty much the basics that I think everyone should start with. The other ones are a little more tedious, and you will learn them as you go. But all of them have their different breakdowns. From, like, stocks aren't just stocks. Like, there's options. Bonds, there's different kind of bonds. So, um, and when you tell someone to learn about this, and when you get into it, it's pretty bland. It really is. It's much easier to know all the newest movies and newest TV shows, and what celebrities are doing this, and what people are doing on Facebook, your frenemies. Like, people know more about that stuff than assets and generating money. And it's really crazy if you think about it, and counterproductive. And it's probably the downfall of our generation. But that's for another video. Create a budget. If you can create a budget, it is great. Someone like myself, I really don't do a budget. I've been married for 9 years. Me and my wife have never had a budget, and we've never saved any money from our paycheck. Don't be like us. But most people are. So having a second job and making a different income and pulling money from other places, that's what I do. So everyone's like, oh, emergency fund, don't spend more than you're willing to lose. I mean, if you make the money and you set it aside for this, and that's when I talk about making sacrifices, which no one wants to do. Like, I'm gonna stop eating out and partying, and I can save $200. I'm going to invest that $200. And just doing that, then you're gonna lose it anyways. You're gonna party it off or eat it away, because you want to eat bullshit. So that's really not losing. Um, Diversify your portfolio. Yes, once you get one, but you don't even know what a portfolio is, so don't worry about that. Um, Later on, I'm going to give you some scenarios about what you should do, but these are investment vehicles. If it's stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, those are different things that you can put your money into to push your investments or get investments and generate your wealth. If you do come across a ton of money, you need to start small, no matter what. If you have $10,000, you should not invest that $10,000. Maybe half, if you do research and look into it and actually care about it. Because a lot of people I've seen, it's like their friend says, "Oh, invest into this," and I've done it. Someone's like, "Invest into this." I'm like, "Okay, dope, done," and then it's gone in about a month. Um, Stay informed with financial news and just what's going on in the world. You should know certain things, like it's good to know like about the housing market crash back in 2008, like big things that happen, like The Big Short, the movie The Big Short, like understand why these things happen. So when the media and the news lies to you about the world falling apart, it's not, it's just another day. I mean, I believe we're going to hit a recession and we haven't really hit one yet, but we'll talk about it later. But as long as you invest into something solid, you're good. Like, if people say that, oh, like the market's going to go down or we're going to hit a recession, so you shouldn't invest in that. It's like, no, I'm going to invest in good companies ran by solid people. That's a very sound thing to invest in. And if it goes lower, I'm going to buy more, you know? Remember that it all involves risk. There's risk of losing money. But think about this. If you invest into something, you don't lose it until you sell it. So if you're responsible and you buy something, that's like an asset. It's a difference between an asset and just buying junk. An asset's something that you can hold on to. And if you're smart, you buy something that's actually good, then you can hold on to it and weather the storm. And you have to be patient. You have to be super patient. So we're going to talk about the stock market. So the stock market is the easiest thing to get into. It's the super easiest thing to get into. You just apply online, put some money into a fund, and then you can start buying stocks in a couple days. Real estate is a lot harder, but with real estate, you need to understand how it works. So even if you don't have enough money to buy a house, you need to go through the steps to do it and figure out where your credit score is and all that. Mutual funds, bonds, and high yielding savings accounts. So these are different investment types. I have two more that are a little different, so we'll talk about those later. So now I want to talk about two scenarios I have, and this is for two different people. So we're going to call them, the first one, Petty Officer Windshield Wiper, and the second one is out of regs haircut, right? So a little bit about them is Windshield Wiper has about $40,000. He saved a lot. He doesn't know what to do with his money, and now he is ready to invest. He's young and he's actually like wanting to learn. And out of regs haircut, about the same. So, but just not enough money, not as much money. So both want to work, both want to learn. They show a willingness, and the number one thing that they have over most people is they're young, and if they stay the path, like time beats all here. Like if you like the last video, compound interest calculator, just put some multiples in there, and the one thing that kills everything is time. Time will shoot up your investment so much. So if these young 20-year-olds, young 21-year-olds, like look into this and they stay with it, they're gonna kill it. So windshield wiper. What you should do, or what I would do if I was you, would take half of it and split it. So 20K. So I put 5 into bonds for 2 years just to show you how that bond works. It's super safe, so you can feel secure with that 5K. The other 5K, another safe thing is a high yielding savings account. 5K. So you will already know what that $10,000. So $10,000 is a lot of money, and it's a fourth of what you have. But the bond will give you a certain amount, and the savings account will give you a certain amount. The savings account I know right now is around 5.5. So you can do the math there. And the other $10,000 you're going to put into the stock market, and you're going to split that again into the S&P 500 SPY ETF and the Magnificent Seven. We'll go over that later. And out of Reg's haircut, you're just going to do the S&P 500 and the Magnificent Seven. So stocks are the main driver for investing at the beginning. So I want each of you to sign up to do paper trading. It's better to buy stocks that you know into industries that you actually care about, or that actually work in the real world. So a big wake up call for me with companies that actually work no matter what was COVID-19. So what companies didn't go down during COVID-19? Guess what? If your company is still going on and flourishing during a worldwide pandemic, that's a solid company. Just saying. So things like Home Depot, Walmart, Amazon, tech was still going on, Facebook, Netflix just went bonkers. So things that the world needs. That's a good one. And then something that you love. So for me, Tesla. I love Tesla. I know a lot about the company. It's not just a car company, it's a technology company. I love Elon Musk, his journey. He's a super smart man. It's like what I believe is, it's like when I'm old and I have a ton of Tesla still, they'd be like, oh, how did you know to invest in this company? I was like, I invested into the greatest mind of our century. It's not that hard kind of thing, right? So going with that, the Magnificent Seven, right? So those companies are Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet, Facebook, Tesla, Johnson and Johnson. So S&P 500 half, and then the other half, just buy one of each and scale it for how much money you have. So not just buy these companies, but I want you to research them. Why are they the Magnificent Seven? So figure that out. And then some other things is, how much does one original stock of each one of them cost? Because that's something that not a lot of people know. Because Apple right now, I don't know what it's at. It's maybe $200. One original stock of Apple is not $200. I'm just going to give you a hint right there. Why are they on this list? And also research the companies that each one of these companies owns. Apple owns thousands of companies. Microsoft owns thousands of companies. Alphabet, Google, they own so much. Johnson & Johnson own a ton of companies. They own so much. You think that you're not buying Johnson & Johnson, but you are. And the monopoly that they have. And Tesla and Facebook, it's Tesla, I think, is the only company on there that doesn't have a bunch of side companies. But Like, I want you to find out what companies they own, and this will set you up on your investing journey. Um, the price of these stocks will go up and down, and it'll scare you. And you have to be strong and remember that you bought good stocks, especially these. Like, they're the seven best companies, and the S&P 500 ETF. Like, it just follows the S&P 500, which does great year over year over year. So this is the plan I would follow when I'm first starting. Um, each week, I'm going to go over a stock, and this week I'll probably start with Apple. So that's the plan I want you two to follow, and everybody else. It's not a bad plan. So understand that if you don't start investing, you are wasting time. And every week and every month you don't invest, you basically are selling your time, and that money that you could be putting into, and that compounding interest is just not there. And the sooner that you start, um, it's amazing. Like, I never thought that I would have money in assets that just keep on growing, like, year after year. And it just make like once you start investing, it's addictive. You just keep on investing, and it's not going to be a bunch of money at the very beginning, but it slowly snowballs. And you need to start learning how to invest into not just like stocks and the real estate and all that stuff. The other two I left behind, well, the other one is like precious metals. That's like real deep. But the last one is yourself. You need to invest into yourself. You need to like buy books on money, on investing, on real estate. You need to um, buy buy things to make more money. Like, if it's like cleaning cars, you need to buy that vacuum, that special cleaner, like whatever you need to make more money. That's invested into yourself. You need to invest into yourself to get more money that you can invest more into your life. And I know this is all money, 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 but once you want to start a family, um, money's a big thing. It's not everything, but it helps make a lot of things easier. And the more you know about investing and money and saving for a future, the more secure you will be with your whole entire life.